The world is filled with a lot of beautiful animals. Take a look at this majestic looking lion. Or this gorgeous looking wolf. Or, what the fuck is this? Today we're looking at some other examples of the weirdest animals in the world. So let's not waste any more time and let's get into it. Look at this very normal, average looking fish. This one is named the bluehead wrasse? Or Russie? How the fuck do you even pronounce that? Anyway, it also has a brother which also looks pretty damn normal, named the humphead. That word. But now look at their other sibling. Nothing out of the ordinary, right? Just another ordinary fishy swimming in the sea. But little do you know, you're actually looking at something what the scientific world calls a slippery dick. Sure, we're talking about weird looking animals, but before we do that, I gotta get this off my chest. Because who the fuck came up with this shit? Like, what did this poor little fella do to them to deserve this? Did one of the scientists have a grudge against these things? It's as if the scientists that discovered it had nothing else to think about other than the monster cock that was cracking him the day before, causing this animal to get this unfortunate name. I have no idea if this thing is slippery, but I can confidently say that this does not look like a fucking dick. But alright, it took maybe one Google search to finally get the answer to the question we all probably have. So, it's called slippery because, well, it's slippery. And the other section is because us humans ruined the word by associating it with male genitalia. But alright, the fish itself isn't too weird. It just took a pretty unfortunate name off the ass, but that's it. Now we'll get into the really weird things on our planet. Yeah, honestly, even my sleep paralysis demon would shit itself seeing this piece of shit just floating around. This is a telescope fish, and if there's a word that perfectly captures what this thing is nightmare fuel. I feel like Mother Nature was having a laugh or something, because there's absolutely no way that this build benefits themselves or anyone else in the ocean. And here's the thing, they're found in such a deep area of the ocean that even a flashlight would leave you in the dark. If it even survives being crushed, of course. Because it's 2 entire kilometers deep, so just imagine you're down there. You can't, because you would implode right there on the spot. But just assume you have some god-tier suit with you. You're just floating around in darkness, and all of a sudden you're seeing this in front of you. I know about you, but I would turn off my oxygen tank and just end it right there on the spot. Because there's no fucking way that I want to get devoured by jaws like these. Okay, but enough of the panic attacks. This little fishy is exactly that. Small. So, other than looking like a backrooms entity that accidentally no-clipped to our dimension, it can't really do shit to you. Since it's just a weak-ass fish cursed to have the worst face card on the planet. Legit, if this somehow turned into a human being, I would guarantee you that 5 different urban legends would kickstart simply because it didn't wear a mask. Or catch 5 different allegations because it made the mistake of smiling towards a bunch of children that were just skating in a skate park or something. But here's another thing. It's not only this monstrosity that's existing in the deepest part of the sea, because we also have shit like this, or this entire thing. No amount of money would convince me to go down there. Not even if I could single-handedly fix world hunger or something. I think that he smelled my next jokes hours ago. Nah, but why did biology decide to make the nose and dick swap places? What was the use of that? Rocking that good old nose from the one villain in the Smurfs. And while looking at these animals, I found out that they love mounting their own homeboys.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
In their defense, maybe they don't want to make it gay, but want to keep it fruity. But alright, it's time to address the elephant in the room. Because the nose is comparable in size. But yeah, why the hell is their nose like this? Surprise, surprise, it was all done for the hose. Because the female monkeys like their man being extra loud. So a big nose is a big help in that. And don't ask me why specifically the nose, because you would think that doing something to their throat or vocals would be a more logical thing to evolve. But I guess Mother Nature was just scribbling something on her paper, and this accidentally escaped the facility. Like, I thought the dating scene for us Homo sapiens was cooked, but the male Proboscis monkeys are literally forced to grow a tumor on their nose. All of that while their female counterparts are rocking this pathetic-ass Cheeto. And one more thing, is it impractical having something this massive on your head? Like, I'm sure a big nose can be useful at times, but is it like we have forgotten the concept of too big? Like, take a look at this fiddler crab, you know, the one that looks like Quagmire after he discovered internet porn. Because among these crabs, we also had the men going completely overboard with their claw. And you'd think a big claw like this would be fucking dangerous, but not really. It's just there for aesthetic reasons. It's like walking around with a sexual handicap because other than pulling the hose, they can't do shit with it. I feel like the nose of this monkey is pretty much on the same boat. When you ask a random person on the street what the ugliest creatures on the planet, someone named the monkey we're all familiar with by now. Others would name the telescope fish, and then we have some others that are straight up dickheads and would just point at you. But none of the creatures named have ever faced as much abuse as the blobfish. Like, the amount of disrespect this organism has received is actually fucked up. Because when people think of that fish, they would immediately think of this image right here. The blobfish is a deep-sea creature, and one thing that's required to survive in the deepest part of the ocean is being resistant as fuck to pressures from down there, which means if a creature from that depth gets taken to the surface, they just collapse like a Roblox character. And I'm not just saying this to come off as a nerd or something, but that's literally what happened to the blobfish. Like, imagine someone goes to your house, shoots a few rounds into you, takes a picture of you, and then labels you as the ugliest creature on the planet. Very extreme example. But the point is that you obviously don't look like Swiss cheese on a regular basis. Okay, now you do. But what I mean by that is it's not natural for you to look like that, which is exactly what the blobfish experience. Because this is what they usually look like. Okay, scrap whatever I've said about them in the last few minutes. I can't defend this anymore. It's still fucking ugly. Moving on. Imagine this. You're walking out at night and your mentally challenged ass decided to go to the jungles of Madagascar, walking deeper and deeper, just for your dumb ass to get lost in the middle of nowhere. You're just wandering around, trying to get back home, but all of a sudden you hear a sudden noise and everything around you goes quiet. The rustling continues and you find out that it's from somewhere up the trees. You're shaking. But despite this, you're looking up to identify where the noise came from, just to catch a glance of it. It being this ugly ass fucking monkey that's just staring down at you. Also known as an eye, this animal looks like me after going through 2 sleepless nights in a row. After getting struck by lightning 5 times back to back. And going on a ridiculous diet to lose all my fat. Like, I'm genuinely confused on why they even obtained this type of build in the first place. What's beneficial about looking like a jungle version of Jeff the Killer? Because it's not only their look that's pretty damn creepy, but also their middle finger. Sure, the way that it can flip you off is one thing, but looking like it can poke your eyeballs out on a bad day should be a real concern. Is what I would say if this creature was actually dangerous, because in reality it's just there to finger tree bark until they get themselves some larvae to feed on. And here's a pretty sad fact about these creatures. They're literally getting hunted down because a few fucking idiotic tribes think that these tiny monkeys will use their middle fingers to pierce their hearts while they're sleeping, thinking that it moves like Freddy Krueger or something. Like, imagine being so ugly that some motherfuckers make up an urban legend about you and then single-handedly turn you into an endangered species. And I thought that the blobfish was the most disrespected organism on the planet, but at the very least they don't have to fear getting killed by the most overpowered predator simply because they remind them of their own mutated nut hair. Like, I can guarantee you, if these animals looked a little cuter, they would probably flourish in this day and age, because the same thing happened to pandas, since they're looking like cute cuddly bears pretty much manipulated us humans into protecting them. Unlike, these things. So anyway, that was it for today. If you liked the video, like, sub, do whatever you want, and I'll see you all in the next one.